Okay, so yesterday we started the notes on standard form, and you might already have letter D done, but I'm going to just quickly review. And here we box in y because we're solving for y. That is the point of standard form, is that we would have to solve it for y to find the slope. And so we would add 35x to both sides. We get negative 7y equals 15 plus 35x. We can't add them together because that has an x and that one doesn't. Then the last step is we divide by negative 7, and we divide every term by negative 7. So y equals, and so yesterday I was flipping back and forth between the calculator, and I did that to show you what I was doing. So on a calculator page, I just type in 15 divided by negative 7. And then I also type in 35 divided by negative 7. And so this is how I'm getting my simplified answer. So I have negative 15 over 7 minus 5x. And then the most important thing is that we're finding slope, right? Our slope is always in front of x. So this right here is my slope, negative 5. But how can we do that in the calculator? So here are the steps. We graph our equation, we press menu, 6, and then 5. And so I'm going to go back here and I'm going to redo letter D. And so everybody needs to follow along with me. We're on a graph page. So get to a graph page. And here we need to delete the equal sign, and we need to pick a relation. And I like to press the numbers instead of scrolling, so I'm going to push number 6. And then we're going to type in the equation, which is negative 35x minus 7y equals 15. And again, you're following along with me. Press enter and we have a slope. We have a line here. And what we're going to do is find the slope of the line by pressing menu, 6 for analyze graph. And again, I like to press the numbers. And then I'm going to push number 5 for change, like the slope, which is the change in y over the change in x. And that's not really what that means, but that's what we're going to call it. So menu, 6, 5. And then you need to use the keypad and just scroll over to put your slope on the line. And if I don't press anything and I'm just sliding over it, then it goes wherever I want. But if I press enter, then it puts it on the line. And that is my slope, which we know because we already found it on letter D. And so let's go through these points, these equations right here, and let's find the slope. So the first one, okay, number 1, I'm going to label that, is 2x plus 3y equals 7. And so we're going to go to our calculator, go Control Doc, and add a new graph page. We're going to delete the equal sign and pick a relation. And we're going to type in 2x plus 3y equals 7. And the steps were menu, 6, 5. And again, you just go to the line and you press down on it and it will give you your slope. So here, my slope is negative 0.667, which is not really what it is. It's negative 0.6 repeating. Okay, that's why it rounded off with a 7. I need to change that though to a fraction. So I press Control Doc, number 1, and I type in negative 0.6, and we're going to put a whole bunch of 6's. And then we press menu 2, 2, and enter. So my slope is really negative 2/3. That's what I'm going to write here. Equals negative 2/3. Let's do it again. What is the slope of negative 2x plus 4y equals 12? And so we're going to go to our calculator. All right, so we're looking at this second line. Sorry, I had to pause the video, so I don't remember what I last said. But the second one, control doc, add another graph page, delete the equal sign, pick a relation, and we're going to type it in, which is negative 2x plus 4y equals 12. Oops, I definitely put the wrong number. So when that happens, you just press tab, and if you scroll up, you can delete what you don't want or fix whatever you forgot to put in, and then press enter again. So there's my line. Go find the slope. So we find the slope by pressing menu 6, 5, and it tells me the slope is 0.5. So that's what I'm going to write down right here, 0.5. But I need to change that to a fraction. So I'm going to go to a calculator page and type in 0.5 menu 2. We should be getting good at changing things to fractions. So my real answer is 1/2. And then let's go to the last one, which I'm going to call number 3. What is the slope of 4x minus 5y equals 20? And so again, go to a graph page, delete your equal sign, pick a relation and type it in. 4x minus 5y equals 20. And to get our slope, menu 6, 5. And we just scroll over to the line. So here I get 0.8, and then I'm going to change it to a fraction. So menu 2, and my answer is 4/5. So 0.8 equals 4/5, and that's my slope. So I want to show you one more. If I go to a graph page and I type in, let's see, 7x minus 3y equals 12. And I want to find my slope, menu 6, 5. It tells me my slope is 2.33, but that's a little bit misleading. If you really have a 3 or even the 6, it's a repeating number. So this is really 2.333333, and so I'm going to go to a calculator page and put it in. And then we press menu 2, and it will change it to a fraction for us. Okay, so if you get 0.6 repeating or 0.3 repeating, that's what it would look like. Remember on the first one we got 0.667, which is 6 repeating. Okay, on the back of your notes, there's one more question, and it's which equation is equivalent to the table below? And really, I want to just talk about using this trace feature, which we've used before, but we've not used it in the way that I'm going to show you. So I'm going to go to a graph page and I'm going to type in this first one. Okay. So follow along. Control Doc, add another graph page, delete the equal sign, and pick a relation. And you should be getting quick at pushing all those buttons. So 2x plus 5y equals 4. Now, again, we could find our slope, so let's review that. Menu 6, 5. And here is my slope, okay? But that's not what I was asked about. I was asked about points. So if I press menu 5, 1, we know that we can scroll left and right, and it will tell us the y-intercept, and it will also tell us the x-intercept. But what you can also do is type in any x value you want. So if I want to figure out the answer at 5, if I type the number 5, it pops up on the screen, x equals 5. And then I press enter, and it will tell me the order pair, 5, negative 1.2. So on our notes here, the first x value is negative 10. And if I go here and I type in negative 10 and press enter, it will tell me the answer is 4.8. Well, that's not what I want here. I want the answer to be 8, so that means A is not my answer. Okay. So let's go type in letter B. So graph page, delete the equal sign. We're going to type in 2x plus 5y equals 20. Okay, I want to see what the answer is at negative 10. So I'm going to type menu 5, 1, and I'm just going to type negative 10. And my answer here is 8. Oh, well that matches what that says. So there's 1 point that works. But guess what? 1 point doesn't make all the difference. We need at least one more point to work. So let's go type in negative 3. So now I'm just going to type negative 3, enter, and it tells me 5.2. That's what I want. Let's type in 1, enter. It tells me 3.6, and then 15, enter, and it tells me negative 2. So that is actually my answer here. To make you practice this point though, how do I find points? I want you to go to your graph page and I want you to type the next equation in. So go type in 2x minus 5y equals 20. So number 2, graph page, pick a relation. We're typing in 2x minus 5y equals 20. All right, go find the answer when x equals 5. So that means you're going to push menu 5, 1, and you're going to push 5, and then enter. And you get negative 2. Find me the answer at negative 3. So that means you're going to type in negative 3, and you'll tell me the order pair is negative 3, negative 5.2. Type in the answer, type in 0. The answer is negative 4. Type in 100. The answer is 36. Okay, so let's go back to type in 1. And my answer is negative 3.6. So you can type in any x value you want to figure out the y value. So today you're going to practice this through a scavenger hunt. You're going to find the slope. So remember to find the slope of this line. We press menu 6, 5, and we figure out that our slope, this one says at 0.4. We can change that slope to a fraction. And then we can find a point on the line by pressing menu 5, 1. And we can type in any number we want. So 2, enter, and it will tell me the y value. And just a reminder to change that to a fraction, we go back to a calculator page, type in 0.4, menu 2, 2. Okay? So before we finish, I want you, before we actually go on to the lesson, the activity, how can we find slope from standard form? And I just explained how we find slope from standard form, how we use the calculator. So I want you to go through here and I want you to use complete sentences and write out the steps.